This is not a fairy tale. This is the story of two brothers who started with nothing but broken shoes, built two of the biggest sports brands in the world, and never spoke to each other again for 60 years. In a tiny village called Herzogenaurach in Germany, 1920s, there lived a poor family, Rudolf Dassler and Adi Dassler. Everyone called Adi, Adi. Their father was a drunk. Their mother washed clothes for rich people. The family of 6 slept on the floor. Electricity? No. Running water? Only from a well. Shoes? The boys had 1 pair each, full of holes. But Adi was different. While other kids played football barefoot, Adi collected old, broken shoes from the streets. He would sit for hours with a knife, glue, and nails fixing them. He loved how things worked. He loved making something useful out of trash. One night in 1924, 24-year-old Adi said to his older brother Rudolf, "I'm tired of being poor. Let's start a shoe company." Rudolf laughed. "With what money?" Adi pointed to the washing room. "Mom's laundry room. We'll use her electricity." That same night, the brothers carried an old sewing machine into the laundry room. They had no leather, so they cut up old army helmets and tires. Their first shoes were ugly, heavy, and smelled like rubber. But they worked. They named the company Gebrüder Dassler Schuhfabrik, Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. By 1928, their shoes were worn in the Olympics. By 1936, Jesse Owens, the black American athlete who destroyed Hitler's master Ray Smith, won 4 gold medals, wearing Dassler shoes. The brothers were heroes in Germany. Money started coming. They hired workers. They moved to a real factory. Life was finally good. But then came the war. 1943, World War II. Allied planes bombed their town almost every night. One evening, Adi and his wife and children ran into the family bomb shelter. Moments later, Rudolf and his wife also ran inside. Adi, angry and scared, shouted, "Those dirty bastards are back again." He was talking about the British planes, but Rudolf thought Adi was talking about him and his wife. That one sentence, said in fear, planted the seed of hate. After the war, American soldiers occupied the town. They loved the Dassler shoes and ordered thousands of pairs. Money flowed again. But the brothers started fighting every single day. Rudolf thought Adi was taking more profit. Adi thought Rudolf was lazy. Wives fought, children fought. Even the workers had to choose sides. In 1948, the impossible happened. The brothers split the company. Rudolf took half the workers and started his own factory across the river. Adi kept the old factory. They drew a line in the village. One side wore Rudolph's shoes, the other side wore Adi's shoes. If you worked for one brother, you could never enter the house of the other. Families broke, friendships died. The village itself was divided for 60 years. Adi named his new company something simple, Adidas. Adi plus Dassler. Rudolf wanted Ruda, but it sounded ugly. He changed it to Puma. 1950s, the War of Brothers began. Adidas signed the German national football team. Puma signed the runners. Adidas paid Pelé to wear their boots in the 1970 World Cup. Puma paid the referee to make Pelé tie his Puma laces on live TV. They fought in courts. They fought in shops. They fought in Olympics. They paid athletes under the table. They copied each other's designs. But something beautiful happened. Because they hated losing to each other, both companies became better and better. 3 stripes became famous. Adidas. The jumping cat became famous. Puma. By the 1970s, Adidas and Puma together controlled more than 80% of the football boot market in the world. 2 poor boys from a dirt floor now dressed kings, presidents, and superstars. Rudolf died in 1974. Adi died in 1978. They never spoke again after 1948. Not one word, not one letter.
They are buried in the same village cemetery, but as far apart as possible. Even in death, they refuse to be close. In 2009, 61 years after the split, employees of Adidas and Puma played a friendly football match in the village. For the first time, both companies shook hands. The workers cried, the families cried, but the brothers were already gone. Lessons from the two boys who sold everything to chase a dream. Never let anger destroy what love built. Hate can make you successful, but it will never make you happy. The greatest competition can come from the person who once shared your bedroom. Forgiveness is harder than building an empire, and sometimes more important. You can start with broken shoes and end up changing the world if you never give up. Today, Adidas is worth over $50 billion. Puma is worth over $15 billion. And in the small town of Herzogenaurach, people still call it the town of bent necks, because when you walk down the street, everyone looks down to see which shoes you are wearing. This is not just a story of shoes. This is a story of family, fire, success, and the heaviest price anyone can pay: losing the person who once believed in your dream more than anyone else. Remember their names: Adi and Rudolf Dassler. Two brothers, two legends, zero forgiveness. And that, my friend, is how the world's biggest sports war began. On a dirt floor, with a broken sewing machine, and a sentence said in a bomb shelter.
The football match between Adidas and Puma employees ended with hugs, tears, and beer. The cameras flashed. The world called it the peace game. But inside the two families, something deeper was moving. Armin Dassler, Rudolf's grandson, was 44 years old. Jens Dassler, Adi's grandson, was 41. They had never met properly. They grew up hearing stories. Don't trust the other side. That family stole everything from us. But in 2009, both of them were tired of the ghost. One cold September evening, Armin called Jens. No press, no cameras, just two men in a small cafe at the edge of the village. Armin spoke first. "My grandfather died angry. Yours died angry. We don't have to." Jens was silent for a long time. Then he pulled out an old black and white photo from his wallet. Two little boys, barefoot, holding one pair of homemade spikes, smiling at the camera. Adi, age 10, and Rudolf, age 12. Before the war, before the hate. Jens said, "This is the only photo where they are still brothers." They cried like children. From that night, everything changed slowly, quietly, the Dassler way. 2011. For the first time in 63 years, the two families attended the same Christmas market together. 2014. Adidas and Puma released a joint limited edition shoe called the King Reunited. Half three stripes, half Puma cap. All money went to children's sports in Africa. 2018. Armin and Jens opened a small museum in the village. In the middle of the museum stands the original laundry room sewing machine that started it all. Above it, a simple sign in both their handwritings. We were never enemies. We were brothers who forgot. Today, when you visit Herzogenaurach, the river that once divided the town now has a footbridge. On the bridge is a bronze plaque. To Adi and Rudolf Dassler, you gave the world wings and speed. Your grandchildren gave you peace. Walk together again. The town no longer looks down at shoes. They look up and smile at each other. And every year on September 21st, the day the brothers officially split in 1948, the two companies stop work for 1 hour. Every employee, whether Adidas or Puma, walks to the river, stands on the bridge, and stays silent for exactly 60 seconds.
Then they go back to competing like hell for the rest of the year, because that is the Dossler blood. Compete without mercy, love without conditions. The story ends where it began. Two little boys on a dirt floor, sharing one dream. Only this time, the dream finally came home. And somewhere, maybe, just maybe, Adi and Rudolph are barefoot again, laughing, fixing broken shoes together, the way they did when the world was still kind. Never forget, the greatest empires can rise from a laundry room. The deepest wounds can heal in a cafe. And sometimes the people who fight the hardest for you are the same people you must learn to forgive. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If this story touched your heart, carry one thing with you today. Make peace before the grave has to do it for you. Now go call that person you haven't spoken to in years. Say sorry. Say thank you. Say, I still remember when we were brothers. Because tomorrow is not promised, but forgiveness is always possible. The end. Or maybe, for the first time in 100 years, the real beginning. Where are you listening to this story from right now? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Let's see how far this story of two brothers has traveled tonight. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, USA, UK, Canada, Australia, Philippines, Indonesia, Nigeria, Brazil, or somewhere completely unexpected. Write your place and one word this story